Hola, minasan! Welcome back for another Undead Unluck! So, last time we saw Andy and Fuko deal with Gina, his old squeeze, his old girlfriend, gave an epic, heartfelt goodbye, and then they joined the Union, and oh boy, they didn't hesitate to get into a fight. And now they're off to. Then Andy got a new suit, and now they're on their first mission. I got really angry with the font that they chose to use because the D's look like P's and the P's look like D's, and I started mispronouncing all the words. Please don't do that. Don't ever use weird fonts like Comic Sans. But this one was a very weird font. And so now we're off to the first mission. So without further ado, let's get reading. Undead Unluck, chapter number 011, Longing by Yoshifumi Tosca. Fumiko stuck her head out like a dog, smiling as the wind blew her into her face and pushing her tie to the side. They were in a truck, a Mack truck, rolling through the desert side. "Wow, Andy, where are we?" she said. "The good old US of A, Nevada to be exact," Andy said. "Thought about taking the copter, but hitting the open road beats flying any day, don't you think?" "Yeah!" And there's Andy driving the truck with a big smile on his face as Fuko listened on. "How's about it, kid? What do you say the two of us book it to Vegas for a wild time instead? Maybe we can get married and do the deed like I wanted." Wait, we could do that. Wait, no. We're not going to do the deed, but we could definitely go and gamble. And but first we have to head to the place mentioned in the dossier. I don't understand English. It's logging. Pretty sure I saw the name at the end of this. Wait a second, how does this only get in English? But Japanese. On the redacted day of redacted month and redacted, New York City, confirmed case of rotting corpse wandering the streets. Fumiko said as the report flashed back to Times Square where a strange person walked and everyone screamed for their lives. Conducted memory wipe of witnesses and nearby residents pertaining to current phenomenon. It was the New York Yankees. They had failed to win the World Series again and decided to take it out on New York for their own failures. Maybe if they would follow the Mets example, they wouldn't have become zombies and go out about killing people. Identity was procured from rotting corpses' belongings. His name was redacted, age 27, from the town of Longing. Is this some SCP stuff? Yep, it's a rural area. Wait a second. Oh no, that's my man Shen. I forgot. Shen is in there. Yeah, it's a rural area in the western United States. Ah! And there's Shen, leaning over from the roof of the truck and looking at Fuko from beyond the windshield. They film a ton of cowboy movies there, yes. "What are you doing out there, Mr. Shen?" she said as he stood upside down on something. Mr. Andy was seriously going to leave me behind, you know. I've been traveling as a stowaway this whole time, yes, but I got lonely out here by myself. "That's dangerous. Hurry up and get inside." And he did, laying out like a cover model, and a big smile on his face. Andy, of course, was very perturbed. So Fumiko said, "Do you think the corpse noted in the dossier is actually connected to spoil?" "I believe so." "Hey, the key word here is spoil. What do you think it means in this context?" "Spoil essentially means to decay, or rot away in this case," as they imagine a apple rotten as the flies floated around. "The zombie they found in New York was likely a victim of spoils.
though I'd still believe that it was just the New York Yankees being very angry at losing their game, though I'm not sure why it made the 3,000-kilometer trek to New York. I'm sure they'll be longing the zombies' hometown, he said with a smile.
By they, do you mean the enemy we're up against for this quest?
Yup. The Uma spoil and their legion of homemade zombies. Just look how gross they are. Oh my.
Zombies, Uma Sponge. And it's our job to capture that thing, right?
It's spoil, Fuko, my dear. Get the name right.
Well, I don't understand English. I'm Japanese. We're speaking in Japanese in the middle of an American country that speaks primarily English. By the way, do we even stand a chance?
Momentai, momentai. Chinese for relax, don't worry. You see, our investigators scoped out the town ahead of time. They provided me with the data they collected while setting up a barricade around the town's perimeter. Care to listen?
Is it gonna be a long exposition?
Yes.
Okay, well, did they all make it back in one piece?
Unlike the manga, you have to.
Wait, you mean they did it?
You didn't give me a chance to speak.
Beep.
We will now commence the investigation within the town, said the Thai communicator. Eek. Look at that. Place is crawling with zombies. This is terrible. Hey, something's there. Is that? Hey, your body. It's. Ah, what is this? My arm. Mine too. Kill it. Still stop the spread. It's the New York Yankees, you damn fool. How did they get out here? We're not allowed to touch it, let alone attack it. Who the hell cares? Open fire. Ah! And everyone listened on as Fuko quickly covered her ears and closed her eyes as Andy and Chen just continued staring out without a care in the world at the people dying at the hands of the New York Yankees. Well, and Chen said, what do you think, Mr. Andy? Think about what? Seems you'll have a hard time against this one unless you go all out, wouldn't you agree? He let out his Cheshire-like smile, and Andy paused for a second. He thought it over and replied, ain't no need. Midnight. The full moon shining over the desert. Shen staring out, standing before the truck, giving it the stare down of its life. Andy chilling inside the cab, sleeping, while Fuko sat up and looked out at the moon. Trouble sleeping, Shen said, and she looked up. You can rest at ease, I assure you. Mr. Andy and I will take care of Spoil tomorrow. You don't have to do a single thing.
But I want to help.
Child, is it for China's sake? Collecting points to help others like her?
That's not it.
The reward that Apocalypse mentioned, do you remember what it was?
The location of Unrepair. If we're able to clear this quest and meet this Unrepair person, then maybe we'll gain a clue that'll actually help Andy die.
I see. So he still has his suicidal tendencies. Oh, how sad.
But, Mr. Shen, what's your reason for being on this quest? Oh, wait, were you forced into it?
Well, that is part of it. I have to watch out for you two. You're a pair of bumbling idiots. Especially when you strip down.
Oh my gosh, you know about it?
Yes, although I do say you need to get a hotel room. However, this appears to be quite the difficult quest. I fully expect it to cause a rather big scene. If he's pushed hard enough, I might finally be able to see him, not the half-hearted version of him we know now. But Victor, Divine Conqueror, Shen said with a big smile on his face and butchered his whole entire line for some weird reason. Finish your line, Shen. It is now morning. The truck stopped at a bridge. And Andy looked out across. All right, we're here. That our place. That it is. Shen smiled as Fumiko looked horrified for some reason. Beyond that barricade lies the town of Longing. We should proceed with caution once inside.
Right, that sounds, Andy, what are you doing?
Andy reached over. He reached his arm out outside the window, holding a giant bazooka. He leaned down, he aimed, and he fired at it. That wall's in the way. It's evil. Kill it. And it fired. He fired the launcher. The missile struck. It left open a gaping hole, and there was a sound of ah. Oh! The zombies screamed out as every single one of them filed out of the hole. They were the running type. What are you doing? Shen said in horror. Now they're free to run amok. Can they turn back? Excuse me? Once they're like that, can they turn back? No, you fool. No. Now we're all gonna die. That's not realistic at all. Their bodies are already too far gone. You can't turn them back. What do you think this is, South Park?
Oh, no, not really.
I see. Well then, that means I don't gotta hold back. And he stomped his foot down on the pedal. Buckle up, kid.
On it.
Fuko immediately put on the seatbelt as Andy smiled happily as he went into 8th gear in a heartbeat. And shut your mouth or you'll bite your tongue off. Got it, Shed? Wait, huh? What are you doing, you fool? And sure enough, the truck just rolled over every single zombie, knocking them off the bridge, squishing them, flattening them, blood, guts everywhere. And suddenly, Andy jumped right out of the windshield. He flew high into the air. He unsheathed his sword from his arm, spinning like he Cirque du Soleil, and he screamed out, "Now listen up, you bunch of rotten meatbags!" And the zombies looked up at him. He got their attention as he cut his arm off. And he prepared for his strike. I intend on killing the whole lot of ya, but I'll catch your break. If any of you still have got half a brain and know where the sack of crap is that did this to your bodies, then you better duck now, because we got business to discuss. Blood ring, crimson waxing moon. And Andy sliced through every single one of them with his blood splattering all over the place and heads falling all over, rolling like bowling balls to the side. And Shen smiled. And Chen smiled as Fuko was completely smushed by the airbag. Gee, your boyfriend sure is something. Can I have him? Fear. He's not my boyfriend. Fuko said within the bag. Well, what do we got here? He noticed Sadako kneeling down. Sadako kneeling down as every single zombie fell with blood geysering out of their heads. Looks like the whole bunch ain't totally spoiled after all. Awesome. To be continued. Undead Unluck, Chapter 11, by Yoshifumi Tosca. Undead Unluck, by Yoshifumi Tosca, Chapter number 012, Spoil. Andy stood out in the middle of of dead carcasses, the truck covered in absolute blood. He stood next to next to Sadako. Can you stand? He asked. Hey, we got one that ain't spoiled yet. Her name is Sadako. We got 7 days to live. Now all we gotta do is have her lead us to the head honcho spoiled, right? Wait.
How long? I'll tag along.
No, wait. Shen said, holding Fuko back. And Shen sat on top of the truck. Mr. Andy, spare me a moment, please. Indulge me. I'm listening. Didn't I tell you before that we should proceed with caution? Huh? You did? Mr. Andy, do you have any experience fighting Umas? Can't say I remember. Umas are different from us negators in that they are the very rules themselves. Right. It's also not uncommon for them to suddenly ensnare people without rhyme or reason. True.
Suddenly? That's right.
Fumiko realized what Shen was saying. I'm already sure you have have a hunch, but my ability activates when I look at my target from a certain distance, and our dear Fuko's activates when she makes physical contact, you pervert. Knowing you, I bet you were planning to investigate while I need to figure out Spoil's intentions, but that's a bad move when up against an Uma. Thurman really likes her Quentin Tarantino. It has most likely already been activated its ability.
Huh? Already?
Fuko said, looking up at Shen. The majority of Umas will impose their rules on anyone who steps within their range, no exceptions. You don't say! That's my bad then. Sorry, you too. I didn't expect him to apologize so quickly, Shen said with a sweat drop sliding down the side of his cheek. Do you feel off or abnormal in any way? Like, really hard since you have Sadako hugging you? Not really. Hey, there's something written on your stomach. Oh, sorry. Where's the arrow pointing? Oh, I was looking at this here. That's his sleeve. I thought that was the arrow here. Not good. Not good. Not good. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. Because that really does. Because when you look at this right here very carefully, it does look like the speech bubbles pointing. It's really Shen's voice. Hey, there's something written on your stomach. Come again. My stomach. Oh, don't rip off the buttons. Eek. Fuko said, turning away as she watched Sadako attempt to pleasure Andy. Oh, now she turns away. Oh, child. Oh, and it's the old shirt here, clothing. Ha ha ha! You're as good as dead now. They've got you right where they want you. Clothy said, as Andy noticed a bunch of numbers lined up on his bazillion abs. It read 090100. Shen checked his abs. Nothing on me, although I still look pretty hot, yes. Hey Fuko, how about you?
Nope, all clear.
You must be in smack dab in the center of its target area, Mr. Andy. I bet those numbers on your stomach as a timer. Once it hits 0, you'll turn into a full-fledged zombie.
Huh? What do? We have to hurry it.
Makes sense, Andy said. Guess I'll just wait till I spoil that.
Wait, what?
Why? Andy caressed Sadako over his leg as Clothy looked in horror at what Andy proposed. Are you sure about this? You do realize what spoiling means in this instance, don't you?
That's right. You might actually end up dead and then...
Exactly! Is that not the point of my mission? So don't be stupid. If something this small could take me out, then you would have killed me a long time ago. He smiled as Fuko went silent at his point. Now let's see. The number hit 0. He lifted up his right arm and watched it turn into pus and pustules and melting down to its very core. Sadako was impressed as she looked up and saw the hand melt before his very eyes.
His hand is starting to spoil.
Fuko screamed out, Cripes, that's gotta smart. Not really! Snap! It's back to normal! And Andy looked at his healed up hand and began to decay again as the numbers read 0.
Oh, jeez, it's no good.
Fuko said within the truck.
It healed, but now it's rotten all over again.
A continuous effect type. Talk about pesky. So, the moment someone sets foot within this town, Spoil curses them, and once that person hits the curse's time limit, they automatically get zombified. Even if we wanted to track down Spoil, the only lead we have is our Sadako here. Sadako said. The quest really is the most difficult, much too much, for 3 people if you ask me. Sadako said. Was it? Oh, what's that? What's your prize? Hey, looks like she knows where Spoil is. Andy called out to everybody.
Andy, what are you doing? I hope you're not planning to do anything with her.
Right, sorry for the short notice, but we're getting hitched. Andy stood there with half of his face melted off. A big smile on his face as he held Sadako in his arms. Apparently, if we tie the knot, she'll tell us where her Spoil is.
What? Are you nuts?
Truth is, I don't know if it's cause I'm half spoiled myself, but I understand her zombie needs.
Zombie knees? You're stupid.
So, you mind if I take the plunge? I'm sorry I'm cheating on you, but I'll turn her down if you consider it cheating.
Now wait a second. We're not even dating.
But I felt you up enough.
True. No, that doesn't mean we're... No.
Hold the phone, Shen said. That girl could be an assassin for all we know. True! Sadako waits 7 days after all.
You're fine. Just take her down the aisle. Just do so.
Fuko, don't encourage them.
As long as I'm not the bridesmaid.
True. Now, Mr. Andy, wait, before you go... Huh? All I ask is that you keep this one thing in mind. Our objective is to capture the target, not to neutralize them. We do want to get those season tickets to the New York Yankees, after all.
And if you kill Spoiled, then we'll end up failing the quest and we won't get a do-over.
You do want that unrepaired prize, don't you? I would love to sit in the dugout with the New York Yankees, after all.
Oh, crap. Adults.
And Fuko noticed the secret door closed up. She realized there was a little kid there, but she hadn't had a chance to tell anybody. As Shen finished up talking to Andy. Anyway, once you learn Spoil's location, be sure to contact us.
Hey, wait!
Fuko said, getting Shen's attention as they stare. Oh my gosh, this panel is splitting me in half here. Oh my gosh, this panel. As Shen's looked out at the oh my gosh, at all the corpses sprawling out across the street. Fuko listened on to the kids screaming out that it's not safe, while Andy yelled, "Well, better find out address." Oh, Mui, give me strength. Poor Shen, left in tears. At the bell tower. Wow, at the bell tower, Andy looked out with half of his face still melting off, his arms still peeling back. Hot damn, that dress fits you like a glove, Sadako. And he stood before Sadako as she oh my gosh. It's even funnier in the manga. As she stood before Andy in front of a statue of an angel, Andy continued speaking. Pretty sure the priest is supposed to say something here, through sickness and in health and all that jazz, but the two of us are spoiling anyway. So who gives a crap about that, am I right? Thank you. What's that? I don't understand English. Say it in Japanese. Repeat after me. Arigato. Arigato. So long as I fit the bill for you, I'll do this as many times as you want, so don't sweat it. And look it, we have all your family here. My family died years ago. That's too bad. Hey, you lugs, would it kill you to show a little enthusiasm? The zombies started screaming out as they all became witnesses for the wedding ceremony. Thank you. That's enough. My dream was to wear a wedding dress. That's enough for me. Now go and save them. Wow, this was actually a lot more sooner than the anime. The anime dragged this out a little bit further. They didn't get to this part this quickly. Now, all of them in misery, unable to die. Please kill them first. Put them to rest, and this is the font that I was talking about. This ridiculous font that they're using, and then that thing. Kill that thing. What? You mean this cheap prop from Doctor Who? Yes, I'm here. The weeping angel said. Well, my orders were to capture it, but I can't refuse my bride's request now, can I? Repair bills. He immediately cut himself in the back. He unsheathed the sword while holding on to Sadako and let out a swing. Crimson Cross. And with he split the weeping angel into fours. Suddenly, it formed a mouth. Right. It screamed out. I want you spoiled. I see a negator. And all the zombies stood up and started to approach Andy and Sadako. And suddenly, a giant creature rose up from the darkness. How dare ye, lowly royal vassal, oppose the very rules themselves. I am the weeping giant. Spoil! Andy screamed out as the zombies started to approach Andy and Sadako. And there Spoil stood tall, towering over the buildings that had collapsed. You dummies! Huh? Actually protected me! As he rose up from the mound of corpses, with his with his wrists cut and splurting out blood. Appreciate the assist. Guess you haven't all spoiled just yet. He smiled as he aimed at the weeping angel giant. Spoil. Oh, parts bullet! Andy screamed out. Hammer time! Oh, 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 stop! Hammer time! As he struck the bell and hit Spoil in the head with the greatest impact imaginable. You hear that? All you zombie-bite survivors out there! He screamed out to the zombies loping around. I'm taking on the sack of crack that spoiled your bodies. If you've been aching to slug this chum, now's your chance. Just follow the sound of my fists. You better make it quick. To be continued. Undead Unluck by Yoshifumi Tosca. Undead Unluck by Yoshifumi Tosca, Chapter 13, Revenge. Andy unleashed his hammer time, and went full-on MC Hammer on Spoil, and hammered him with a giant bell that knocked his face over. And as all the zombies continued to shield him, he smiled gleefully as his whole body smoldered from the rotting corpse that is consuming him. And he screamed out, "I've got to bag this sucker!" Meanwhile, Inside the hidey hole, Fuko found herself climbing down the stairs, down the ladder, where there was a corpse. She noticed the kids running away, and she screamed out,
Hold on! Don't worry, I'm not a zombie! Kids, and they're not zombified, but how?
There was a sound of a squish, and she found that her foot pressed into the body that was already pretty much done for. She left her footprint on its shirt, and she screamed out,
Eek, a zombie! They're on the ground too? Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you.
"It's okay, child," the zombie said.
This place is even more dangerous than I thought. I need to hurry and save those kids. Oh!
She found her body stopped and pulled right back into Shen, and there was Shen staring down right at her. "You two make quite the pair. You're practically the same person. Now I understand why he feels you up so much."
Oh, Sven, shut up. Must you always sneak up on me like this?
"I wonder what that's like, though, considering I pulled you back. But you shouldn't proceed any further, you know. If this underground tunnel is also within Spoil's range, then those kids already..."
That's right.
The kid screamed out. And there was 4 of them. 2 girls, 1 boy. Oh no, 3 boys and 1 girl. And one of them was holding up something.
All of us have been cursed. So who are you people? If you're working for that thing, then...
And Fuko noticed the numbers 29234 etched on the belly of the young boy. "Their timers have so many digits. Interesting.
Hold on. We're not here to hurt you. We're on your sweat line.
The kid screamed out and interrupted Fumiko with his American gun aimed right at Fuko.
You're just here to kill us because we're doomed to be zombies. Why else would outsiders come to a rundown town in the boonies?
Hold on a second. You're just here to kill us because we're doomed to be zombies. And we do not like the New York Yankees. Why else would outsiders come to run downtown the boonies but to make us New York Yankees? The fact that you haven't moved from that spot is proof enough. Standing there where the curse can't reach you. And Fumiko just immediately run right at the kid for no good reason. Shen didn't even stop her. She hugged the kid and pulled him up. He never even got a single shot off. She hugged him tightly, very tightly, as numbers now suddenly appeared on her belly.
What are you...
What are you doing? Bulging in here like this means you're...
This thing isn't a toy, you know. I don't care about your Second Amendment rights.
Oh, good grief. Just because we come from Japan doesn't mean that we can impose our will onto the Americans. Oh well. And Shen took a couple of steps. He looked at his belly. Oh, shoot. Meanwhile, Fuko knelt before the young boy and introduced herself.
My name is Fuko Izumi. What's yours?
It is Ken, although I'm very surprised you understand what I'm saying. Are you speaking English or something? And I go to the Sunflower Nursery School.
You're pretty old for a kid.
Yes.
Are you the oldest kid? You're pretty responsible.
Well, somebody has to be. That's why I've got to protect the others.
Ah, I see. We're here from the Union, and we're here to help you guys.
Really?
You betcha. We need some info first. Can you tell us what happened here and why all of you are still normal?
Well, if you can explain to me how you're speaking English here in America so easily, Japanese lady.
Be nice. Get to the point.
Okay. A week ago, right in the middle of the city, a dark ball appeared out of nowhere. The kid explained in his flashback as the townspeople of Longing were walking around minding their own business when a weird orb that looked like the beholder, poor man's beholder, floated over them with sharp shark teeth and one eye vagina eye, if you will, looking out at everybody. It started speaking. Cat, I like this place. The houses, the people, seems like they're easy to spoil. I think I'm gonna make them all into New York Yankees. Have you ever seen the New York Yankees? I got some round trip tickets here to New York, and you can get some. You can see them in the season tickets. It's front row seats and such. But I'll start by savoring the people first. And suddenly a weird aura spread across the whole entire town. And right after it said that is when it happened. All of a sudden, numbers started showing up on everyone's stomachs. He said that they were all seat numbers. And that's when we realized the adults started turning into the New York Yankees one by one. A teacher saw what was going on and brought us here. The teacher, Sadako, grabbed the only 4 kids that make up the school and sent them down down the hole. She made sure we stayed safe the entire way. Sadako said,
There's a stock of emergency rations down there too. All of you hole up there for the time being.
"What about you, teacher?"
Don't worry about me. I know you're a Met fan. But we're gonna see to it that you don't get the season tickets to a single Yankee game. Mark my words, I'm not gonna die till I find a handsome guy to take me down the aisle,
she said with a big smile on her face as the zombified New York Yankee fans started gathering around her.
Listen up, kids. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Have you ever heard that Billy Ocean song? Yeah, that's really cool. So just focus on your dreams. As long as you have a dream, there's no way you'll ever spoil away. Believe in me that believes in you. Well, off I go.
Wait, teacher Sadako.
You will die in 7 days.
The flashback ended and Shen thought, I take it they don't know where Spoil is then. Perhaps he's probably hiding out in the middle of Yankee Stadium, but who knows? Oh no, the kid said. Look at Mii's number. Wait, her name is Mii? M-I-I? Okay. What's the matter, Mii? It's okay. Hope's on the way. But, Mii said as the numbers showed 0040. You want to be a florist, don't you? Tell me, what kind of flowers do you want to sell in your shop again? Sunflowers, the child said. Oh, right. Teacher does love herself some sunflowers after all. That sounds great, doesn't it? I'll give teacher lots of them and surprise her good. And the number ticked down from 24 to 22. And then suddenly a 2 went up. A 2 that appeared out of nowhere. Hey, that number went up. That must mean something. The Shed said as Fuko watched in horror. And the kid continued talking. Okay, I've told you what happened and how to raise the numbers, so my question is, are you really going to help us? He said, holding on to the as the kids shivered in fear. And Fumiko nodded.
You bet.
Seems there's something going on top side.
Is it Andy?
She said as the kids gathered around. She pulled up, they returned to the entrance and opened the hatch. Chen assured the kids, sit tight, okay? You will not become Yankee fans and be the good Met fans that you are. And Fumiko was horrified. For Andy was fighting the giant kaiju known as Spoil with the sword. As all the zombies gathered around to pin the giant monster.
Andy and the zombies are fighting by their side? Wow, that's epic.
Well, this is quite a sight to behold. They truly do not like being Yankee fans. Typical Met fans in their rivalry. Although it doesn't seem they're contributing much to the battle. That is very typical of a Met game. They've all been forced to live in such a rotten state. They must be Mr. Andy's way of letting them get payback. You guys showed up right on time. He's Andy smiled in midair while holding Sadako in his arms. He He tossed Sadako to Shen and he caught her. Take care of my bride, will you? The wedding's not over yet. I got 7 days. Well, that it is, and it seems to have found a dress as well. Great news all around. I must be the ring bearer.
Ah, it's the zombie from earlier. Does that mean I'm the bridesmaid?
Teacher, the boy said. Hey, guys, teacher's back.
Really? Seriously?
The kids started screaming out, and they all gathered around their teacher Sadako. I knew you were still safe, teacher Sadako. Your arm's hurt. I'll bandage it for you, the little girl said.
Huh?
And the teacher and Sadako moaned, appreciate it. It's a good film from Stephen King.
Did she just recommend it?
And the zombies started, continued. Oh, okay. And the zombies passed by, ignoring everybody, and bumped into. Oh, and one of them bumped into Fuko's cheek. Are you all right? Shen said.
I'm fine, but that zombie just ran past. I touched it. Oh dear.
And suddenly, the diner sign collapsed onto Spoil as soon as Spoil stomped on the zombie, good and dead. Oh wait, okay, no. What happened was the sign collapsed over. It broke in half as it hit Spoil, and the other half landed onto the zombie, killing it instantly. Which is saying much. Andy noticed it from a distance, and he smiled. Well, that's it! All right, you looks! He screamed out to the zombies below. We're changing up the strategy! We're gonna hit them with a little surprise! Listen up! See that kid over there in the red beanie? Huh? Fumiko was horrified that he pointed at her. Go and touch her! What you do, you'll turn into bipedal bombs! Grope her! Caress her! The body is for the taking! That's sure to damage him more than what you've been doing so far! Wait! How dare you! I didn't sign up on this! And I'm sure the zombies don't want to do that, eh? And that's what happened. That's when it happened. Sadako embraced Fuko and hugged her. It was a loving hug. A very gentle hug. And Fuko immediately shed tears.
I understand.
Teacher, the kid said. What's wrong? Wait, teacher. The kids watched in horror as Sadako ran all the way down the street. Fuko was crying in tears as Shen realized what's about to happen.
It's coming, and it's a big one. My unluck. Oh my gosh, there's gonna be a giant meteor. Probably the moon. All right, a big. Hot damn! I knew you were the bride for me.
Sadako immediately got within the clutches of Spoil. He scooped her up into the air. He held her up, and something weird was happening. As he bumped into a giant building that said "Movie-ite Power." Warning. And it exploded. Exploded his balls hard. And he fell down on his buttocks. The explosion was so big, all the zombies ran towards it like moths to a fly. Well, let's finish what she started, shall we?
Right.
Keep up the pressure. It's us versus it. Total town warfare, folks. We have an epic fight. To be continued, Undead Unluck by Yoshifumi Tosuka. Undead Unluck by Yoshifumi Tosuka. Chapter number 1014. Dream. As the explosion burned the balls of the giant Spoil, Andy floated in the air with his sword sheathed into his body with a big smile on his face. Spoil screamed like no other. And the kid screamed out, "Teacher!" To which Shen held him back. "It's not safe. Stay back, child." It's pretty weak.
All right, come and get it. Touch me. Touch away.
And she immediately ripped her shirt off, exposing her breasts as the zombies all gathered around here, going, "Ugh." And one by one, they either touched her or she touched them, slapping her face, slapping her cheeks, slapping her side boobs, every which way they could. And they all hurried and grabbed and got their hands on Spoil, climbing up his body as he's trying to figure out what in the world is going on here. And suddenly, another explosion happened. Ah! Spoil screamed as more of his balls got burned off by the exploding flames. Every single zombie making sure that the explosion was as effective as possible. Sick! This is an awesome rock and metal band cover I'm looking at. You guys are awesome. Yee! Mr. Andy, we do have a problem here. Was it? Shen smiled as the flame smoldered around them. The two of us kind of ended up cursed too. He showed they both showed their numbers. We need to resolve this issue real quickly.
But don't blame Mr. Shen. I'm the one who ruined the Rush Jam.
Oh, you fools! I guess we've got no choice but to skip the capture and get right to killing.
No, wait. Why would? Oh, not only will we fail the quest, but others will be furious with me.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see Shen's face there. You know what? Because again, the smoldering smoke looks like it's pointing at Fuko, and I'm thinking that's her dialogue there. They need to do better with these with where they're pointing this stuff at. No way! Not only will we fail the quest, but the others will be furious with me. They'll probably make me a Yankee fan. Oh no!
Ah!
Fuko realized the rock she stood on floated up into the air. Another explosion occurred as Spoil collapsed, and oh wow! And Andy jabbed his blade of his sword into the ground and clutched onto Fuko, with Shen holding on as well. He clutched onto Clovey for his dear life while Andy realized what he was doing. What? He's inhaling the zombies? Is he Andros? Do we need to get an R-wing and do a barrel roll? And every single zombie went into Spoil's mouth and were swallowed whole. There was not a single zombie left on the street as Shen and Andy landed in hero poses, far away from the smoldering ashes of the explosion. Suddenly, Spoil revealed his true self. He became one-winged angel somehow, a giant shell hiding behind a horned helmet. He lifted his head up, revealing his one eye, and smiled with his jagged teeth and organs and entrails stretching out. The hell? Andy said as he watched on. It changed form! Mr. Andy, you do realize that we deal with one-winged angels. Have you figured out any rules while fighting it? More or less. Its main body can spoil any organic matter aside from living beings at will. When it comes to spoiling living beings, the timer it places on them has to reach 0 or it's no dies. That's just so far. Well, Shen said, I wouldn't count on that restriction holding up. And suddenly, Spoils lifted his finger. He pointed at the trio. A giant ball formed, a ball of light, and Shen smiled in terror. Now that it's entered its second phase, we're all about to die. And instead, it fired out of longing. Wow. I don't think I remembered this in the anime. Holy smack. It reached Las Vegas. It cut off a replica of the Statue of Liberty, and its head collapsed down as it completely rotted away and melted into ashes. A total of 3 vessels, so it's a quest. Damned apocalypse, melon in my plans. Spoil's true form said.
What happened to his voice? And it just shot at something over there.
She, Andy said, which means thanks for the heads up. No, Chinese for nothing to worry about. And suddenly, the Thai spoke. Master Shan. It's Mui.
This distraction, that laser's trajectory has it routed away. That attack exceeded the parameters of the spoiler rule, sir.
Is that Nico? Ah, yes. Yeah, Jan, is it ready yet? Oh, man. I wonder how creepy I made that voice. Oh, well.
You mustn't let it hit you.
Oh, you mustn't let it hit you, the Thai said. Well, you heard her. Here it comes! Why do you oppose me? His wings spread out, almost reaching the stratosphere. To be born, to spoil, return to the earth. It is a thing of beauty. He jumped into the air and floated. How can you not see that? He stretched his fingers out with more laser beams and he fired at it, trying to spoil everybody within range. He caught Shen's right arm. He caught Andy's left arm. Shen immediately took the glove off with his power. Oh, darn it. These gloves are made to order. Now I have to go through Amazon again. And as for Andy, he chopped the arm off and watched it disintegrate before their very eyes. So, he thought, once you touch it, it starts to spoil. No disintegrating. But I'm guessing it only works on individual parts. If it hits the live body, it's an instant wrap. Dragging this fight out ain't to my advantage. In that case, Andy chopped his leg off and launched himself into the air. His leg and clothes regenerated as he grabbed the sword hilted in his arm. Better make it quick! Spoil smiled at him as Andy's body slowly disintegrated and Chloe screamed in pain. The hell? I'm not even touching him yet. Oh, I see an aura. And and Spoil ordered Andy into the ground. Let me think, Spoil. Just by getting close to it, this must be part of its second phase. Andy's thought as he continued to take every single punch. Oh, a death negator, Spoil said. I admit that is quite vexing, but given the rate of his decay, I doubt this regeneration ability will be able to keep up. You two there are waiting to spoil, I see. You should be grateful. Embrace all that is. The New York Yankees. For my birth brought with it a beautiful circle of life that you two shall get to indulge in. Sitting in the dugout with the team and get free autographs.
I'm a Yomiuri Giant fan.
Mr. Andy, Shen said as he started to dip out. I'm going to step away for just a second.
Wait, Mr. Chen, don't you leave me alone.
Sorry. I'm not a Yankee fan anytime soon. And plus I like the Chiba Marines. How futile! Even if you run beyond my area of attack, you will never reach home base. The timer on your body will remain. Ho ho! You will be a New York Yankee. The world before my birth was so stagnant. Do you understand what it was like? Everything grew uglier and uglier without decay. I brought about change in the form of spoil. And what happened? I got lots of tickets to the Yankees. But Steinbrenner had to screw everything up. Do you have any idea how annoying it was? How long it took from 1970s to 1990s before they won the World Series? Do you understand how torturous that was? That's why I have to spoil everything. And what happened? Living beings stopped taking life for granted. They stopped taking the Yankees for granted and started seeking ways to remain Met fans. Why the Mets? They're terrible. They only won 2 World Series. They can't win more like we can. And to exist just one day longer? Oh my gosh. We even took them out in the World Series. What more do they want? It is a necessary rule, however, that the Mets will always be second fiddle to the Yankees. You humans are the only beings who reject the Yankees, branding me an evil entity. I only giving you season tickets. Don't you want them? But why? All of you are part of nature as well. Do you not understand the power of the Yankees? 26 World Series, a whole bunch of Hall of Famers. Who could not want them? Well, I myself root for the Yokohama team, so I don't really care about American baseball. Why? Why do you not care for American baseball? You all think you're hot, huh? Just because you sent Shohei Ohtani to us? Huh? 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 You think Nintendo buying the Seattle Mariners makes you all special or something? Hmm? Why are you so attached to a body that won't even last a century on its own anyway? The Yankees lasted a century, and look how many World Series they got.
Well, that's because I have a dream.
What's that?
A dream where the Yankees will get beaten by every single Japanese team. Even though they'll never face a Japanese team ever, I know they'll do it. And people, they live with their bodies they're born with. Not all of them can be Yankee fans, you know? Some of them like to be Met fans. Others want to be the Diamondbacks. And sometimes they'll even root for the Marlins, despite dismantling 2 World Series teams after winning the championship. Now who goes around doing that? And poor Oakland A's. Those poor Oakland A's. They discovered Moneyball and everybody stole it from them. And used them to pursue their dreams no matter the size. And I'm not going to let some rule you made, like the designated hitter, wreck any of that. Even if my body were forced to do the designated hitter rule and spoil everything that is the art of pitching based solely on your win, as long as I have a dream, my heart won't ever spoil away. We will win the World Series. My dream is to become a normal girl. Oh gosh, man. I'm slipping up here. I had a good point here, and live my life to the fullest until my dying day, as a Yomiuri Giant fan. And until I do, no matter what happens, I'll never give up baseball.
You're making no sense, child. Oh my gosh, it's working. You just made the number go up to 2. The timer, it just... Oh my gosh. Sick! Your random ranting about baseball worked! Wicked! To coin the phrase, dear Fuko, and as for my dream... Oh, sorry, that's Chen. I can't tell that's him, the way that was drawn. Oh my gosh, the way that was drawn, I couldn't even tell that was him. Ah, dang. Okay. Wicked. To coin a phrase, dear Fuko. Oh, and as for my dream, Shen leaped high into the air and swatted Spoil with his power pole. It's to be the greatest in all of creation. Yes. I believe in the resurrection Christ. To be continued. Undead Unluck by Yoshifumi Tosca. Undead Unluck by Yoshifumi Tosca. Chapter 15, Truth. Shen delivered the power pole extend onto Spoil, rejecting the New York Yankees season tickets. Fuko, horrified as she watched, as she sat next to Andy's decaying body, regenerating constantly over and over again in an infinite loop.
Mr. Shen!
Shen! Don't get too close or you'll start spoiling! Do you want to be a Yankee fan? No, and I'll be fine, Mr. Andy. Besides, I root for the Chinese national baseball team. I think I figured it out already. Spoil brought its face near Fuko just a second ago, but she didn't start to spoil. Her belief in defeating the New York Yankees was very strong. My guess is that his body is protected by a self-generated spoil field created by George Steinbrenner himself. That's why Fuko was safe. Its head left the field. Of course, left field. That makes perfect sense. The New York Yankees have a left field that is famous. No, wait, that's Fenway Park. Sorry, wrong team. But the moment it draws its head back in, its weak point is no longer exposed. But that's where this artifact comes in. This came from the National Chinese Baseball Team, the Neo Kinko staff, it's called. We swat many wiffle balls with it and send it high into the air. Shen Shiny, which means extend in Chinese. And it stretched very far across the street, past a sign that said hamburger, and swatted the New York Yankee fan in the face. Shen using his JoJo pose to maintain the balance as the pole delivered its strike. The Fuko, still holding on to Andy's decaying corpse with Clothy screaming in pain, said,
It's the Nyoi Bow staff, the one from Journey to the West.
If you had told that whole dang thing's time, you should have used it sooner. It's thanks to you that I figured out that I could, Mr. Andy. This stick has won me many baseball games. You know how many home runs I've gotten? Shou shu shui. Shrink, he said in Chinese. She she. Thank you very much in Chinese. Artifact Nioi Kinko staff, excavated from China, where the first baseball game was ever played on the land. This bow staff can extend and send many balls into home runs very, very far away, and contract at will, allowing the baseball player to do bunts if necessary. Shen ran across the rooftops, heading right for Spoil, as Spoil noticed him coming his way. Shen jumped into the air with the power bowl extended, and and delivered a swing. You expect me to just stand there and take a bat to the head? Yes. Shen delivered the blow as the helmet shattered a bit. What's going on? Why does my body approach you on its own? You poor thing. My power to draw it all in. You ever wondered why I was able to deliver those home runs? That's because I lured them in my direction. Very easy to strike. And you bet you want to avoid that one, huh? Oh no! Now I'm gonna get swatted like a ball. Shen's ability acts on a target in his field of vision. Once activated, it forces the target to perform the exact opposite of any action it was trying to take. Why am I suddenly a shonen protagonist talking like this? I am the villain. Any conscious thought that enters the target's mind is negated by Shen. Oh no! I've been shonenized. His ability is unlike any I've ever seen. He not only can whack me upside the head and pull me around, but he can make me monologue like a shonen. I need to retreat for now. And Shen, with his gleaming smile, laughed as Spoil tried to escape, only to get struck and began monologuing again, and began shonen monologuing. However, to activate this ability, a certain condition must be subconsciously fulfilled by the user. I have to figure it out, or I'll end up in the Shadow Realm. Shen, how are we supposed to catch this thing after you weaken it? I don't have a Pokeball, you know. There should be a core within its body, Shen said as he swatted Spoil once more. While I love to pluck it out, any living being that gets close to it will spoil. He struck the Spoil one more time. If only there was some way to block his spoil ability. It's time to come to end this. Prepare to be a Yankee fan. For good, you little... Hey. Shen smiled with a little wink of the eye. Huh? Why can't I fire? So, you use disintegration laser on faraway targets, but when they're up close, you rely on your spoil ability, which is more powerful than Mr. Andy's current regeneration ability. Ching Chai. Excellent in Chinese. Enough of your games! I refuse to believe this ability. This glitch in the system exists. A mere Vistal could never pull off a feat of this magnitude with a simple glance. You are not a good pitcher. Sheshe, you have my thanks. One condition needs to be fulfilled to activate this ability. Oh no, I'm shonen monologuing again. It's due to your overwhelming power. The user must become fond of his target. Oh my gosh. It's untruth. Yes, that I might be able to see him. And Shen delivered his troll smile.
Oh my gosh, he's an internet troll. We need to stop its spoiling ability, but how are we supposed to do that? Spoil or decomposition occurs due to bacteria in the air. Why did you suddenly become Mr. Science? But the bacteria need moisture to fuel the process. So what if we reduce the amount of moisture in the air? Oh my gosh, Shen's power of internet trolling has gotten to your brain. Indeed! The hypotenuse and exponential. Shut up! Very well. Give me them knockers. Alrighty. Guess I'll try some more, setting off some more explosions.
And he wow. Oh my gosh, what a panel. I didn't even see that. Suddenly, Andy grabbed Fuko's bodacious nenes and completely pressed his whole entire head onto them, while the word squish covered covered all of her glory.
What? Hey, cut it out. Too late. Why would you squeeze my belly? What? I thought I grabbed your knockers. No, it was my belly. I better not let him know he really did. I heard that. No. Well, it was easy to grab since it's hanging out. No, it was not hanging out. Your physics are wonderful, very impressive. It is most of that, in fact.
Huh? What is happening here? Shen looked down and saw Andy decaying even further, running towards Spoil as the cracks started chasing him down.
Hey Shen, gain some distance. I'm gonna nail him with the gunpowder storehouse. It's not my fault. My stomach is so pitchy. Although I really enjoyed the way you touched my knockers.
Oh, I assume you figured something. Oh, what the hell? Suddenly, a giant chasm cracked open. The ground, it split.
Open! No way! This was the last thing we need. My knocker splitting the earth.
And Andy completely fell into the chasm below. And Shen peeked over as he scratched his head, wondering what's going on here. Aha! Fool, I got you now. Uh-oh. His hands are coming out to grab me. And suddenly, as Shen twirled his power pole and Fuko jumped out of the way, screaming, "Eek!" Unspoiled caused everything around to decay and collapse. It destroyed the buildings, I see, Shen said as he kept the dust from covering him and blinding him. It's using the dust clouds to obstruct my vision anyway. To counter to my ability. Ching-chai. Excellent. Yes, so impressive. I can't wait till he reveals himself so I can slap him again.
Hey!
Fuko, get farther back. This thing is up to something. Move it, Fuko.
Mr. Shen, what about space?
Huh? Space? You mean the final frontier?
Yeah, space is a vacuum and devoid of moisture, so nothing would spoil there. If we were to use the organization's UFO to send spoil into space, uh, but I guess we wouldn't be able to survive out there.
Oh, yeah, space. What a fantastic idea, child. You are very impressive. Well, what do you say? I could lift both you and spoil up to space if you'd like, he said with his troll face. How about it, Mr. Andy? I'm all for it! Andy screamed out from within the chasm. But since you'll be traveling together, you'll also need to endure his spoil ability until you reach your destination. Why don't you take that card? Why don't you take that card out of your forehead? Yes, I bet the old you could endure with no problem. Fine, it's a deal, but I've got some stipulations. Muley, dear, he said as he dropped the power pole down into the chasm. Can you pinpoint Spoil's location from above?
Yes, sir. It's currently compressing a massive energy from behind the smoke. I would advise you to flee the.
Just give me its exact coordinates, said the tie. It is a square, sir. Well, you heard her, Mr. Andy. Yeah, I see him. Then I leave the rest in your capable hands. Shen walked away with his hands behind his back, all chill and everything.
Huh? Excuse me, but where are you?
And the ball formed even bigger. Shen-shan. Extend, he said. Huh? The spoil looked down, realizing he didn't see what was coming from down below. The power pulse shot out of the chasm. It hit. It hit spoil in the balls again. Oh, my balls! And there was Andy holding on tight as he was elevated into the stratosphere. You better win! Shidole. Andy said. Shen said as he received Andy's card that he removed from his head. To the sound of to be continued. Undead Unluck by Yoshifumi Tosca. All right. How about that? This was definitely a fun little fight arc going on here. It's a pretty good fight, all things considered. Yeah, this moved a little bit faster than the anime. Like it got to the anime really stretched out the whole thing with the teacher. Took a bit of a good couple episodes, but they got right to the point here in the manga, and I like that. The pacing was very good, very tight. Didn't waste too much time with the kids. Thank goodness, because the anime spent a little too much time on the kids, but this one here was like, okay, here's what happened to the kids, and they all got thrown into the hole, and we never see them again. That didn't sure didn't last very long. But nevertheless, we get basically we get a whole lot of exposition here. Not really a lot of exposition. Yeah, a little bit of exposition going on here. Not too much, but you know, leave it to Andy to just suddenly fire a giant freaking missile out of nowhere. He pulled out a bazooka and just cracked it open, and then just goes on a truck running over spree. Pretty like, how did he even get that, and how did Shen not notice from the get go? Oh my gosh. The artwork is okay. I mean, this was pretty good. The zombies here are pretty good, you know, but a lot of the oh yeah, this was a good one. This was a good image here, watching all of them get knocked over. But at times, you know, when it comes to distance, the artwork tends to like do this here. like make blobs. They make blobs. You can see the blobs here. There's a lot of blob faces going on, not just with the zombies, but with the characters too. You know, when when they speak or when they're from a distance. Pretty awesome strike here, Crimson Waxing Moon. I really like this. Very well done here. Very well done. But yeah, you can see like right here, for example, this looks a little blob-like on the top left with Shen's face, where he says your boyfriend sure is something. It's very blobby face looking. I'm not knocking on it. I can understand why. You don't have to like get overly detailed, but you know, don't lean too hard on the blobbing part. Yeah, and they start going into all the fights, but just right off the bat, my man just hooked up with a freaking zombie woman and is like, we're gonna get married. Andy is such a weird character. The things that he does. Uma is very interesting because you got Negators and then you have Uma, and these Uma Thurmans, they're not exactly like the Negators. They got they got their own type of rules, and highly dangerous, and it's pretty interesting again because it's one of those types of shonen style combat systems, you know, where everyone has that one unique specialty, you know what I mean? And Unspoil is no different. He creates a number, and if it counts down, you're basically a zombie for life. But which is not a bad rule. It's a pretty good rule. And improvised it along the way as he moved as the combat moved along, and I like that. And it's very interesting. It's very weird, however. I don't know what it is. How did he figure it out though? That I'm still trying to figure out how it is that Andy figured out. Oh, okay, that's right. Sorry, no, I retract that. Teacher pointed out that it was the statue, and that revealed the whole thing, the weeping angel. Though I find it funny that how did he find the dress? I think that's what I was thinking of. How did he find the dress and how did he slap it on her? It's ridiculous. It's I can tell you this much. Undead Unluck is very fun because Andy doesn't take himself so seriously, and despite how serious he can fight, he really has the time to do Deadpool-like stuff here. This is like total Deadpool. He gives me the Deadpool vibes, basically. He really does give me the Deadpool vibes. And I like that. I think that's why I enjoy Andy so much, because it is like he's like Deadpool, you know what I'm saying? It's just screwing around with everybody without any hesitation. Yeah, and he pulls off one of his big moves to really with enough force to get this to get the bell. To get the bell to knock the thing out. But you know, the whole thing with the kids, I'm like I said, I'm glad that it was short, it was brief, and they got them out of the way. So sometimes when they involve little kids, these shonen manga, they drag on a little too much, and that sometimes they don't serve too much of a purpose. But at least here, their purpose was served very well. They gave quick information. We got to see how they feel about their teacher, and then they just push them to the side. Let the adults here fight now. What everybody is here to see, and that's the adults kicking ass and doing crazy things, you know. But it also did good because it showed that there was a way to beat spoil, with by way of the kids. So you know, saying this was very very good. The kids were there briefly. You know what I'm saying? They served the plot's purpose, and then they got cast aside. They're not running out. You know what I'm saying? They only ran out to see their teacher, and that was already established. But they're not running out and trying to stop spoil. You know what I mean? They're not trying to stop spoil, and that's good. You know what I mean? That's good. You know what I'm saying? You play your characters, you get them out quickly once their usefulness is over. You do not want to keep them around for too long. You don't want to keep him around for too long. And of course, we get Fuko, Fuko going to town with her unluck and just touching everybody, every single zombie, and just turn them into bombs at this point, which is understandable. I mean, they're already dead. They're fated to die. They're not going to make it. And we end up with Unspoiled doing this, not only going one-winged angel, but freaking doing this, man. He fired out at Las Vegas and killed the Statue of Liberty. Nobody kills the Statue of Liberty, quite honestly. Nobody does that. Honestly, I don't know why he wasted this shot. He should have just thrown it at them. He had them, you know what I mean? He just did that to destroy the Statue of Liberty. I don't know if that was really good for the writing. For the story part there, just to display that. He doesn't even kill the people. He doesn't even kill the people. What was the whole point to that? You know, I mean, he could just shoot anywhere and everywhere. But nevertheless, this was all fighting going forward. You know, we got order here, or da 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 da. Give me order. Any day of the week. Any day of the week, give me that. And Shen getting a little too big there about wanting to be the greatest in all creation. Man got a Christ complex or something. Some kind of God complex. Stop it. Stop it. They solved thanks to Fuko's ranting monologue, they solved the timer system situation, and so now Spoil is going to have a very difficult time really killing everybody off. We get to see Shen in action, which is great. You know, saying how he used his power along with the Nioi Kinko staff from Journey to the West, the good old power pole extend and delivering a lot of hits. They figured out his weakness because he has an area field, and I like that this was shown here. That was pretty cool that they showed the weakness and how that worked. He's like sticking his head out of this area field and left him so wide exposed that he could get hit with no problem, and nothing gets decayed while he's out of that area, his zone of control, basically. But yeah, it's just one whole big Shen versus fight. Very well drawn. Andy triggering, activating Fuko's unluck ability, only to fall into the hole, and they were able to figure out. Well, thanks to Fuko actually, because it was Fuko's idea to send them out to space, and sure enough, Shannon and his troll face. I love that troll face. That's a pretty well drawn troll face. Shen got Andy up into the air with Spoil. So we won't know until next time exactly what's gonna happen to these two. So there we go. That was Undead Unluck. Comment, like, subscribe, follow. You know you want to. And head on over to Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. Grab yourself a copy of the Impossible Man, a strange fantasy novel written by me. You'll find a link down to the book below, along with links to other merch like music and pins and t-shirts and buttons and stickers. There we go. And if you're interested, you're more than welcome to contribute to the Patreon. If you're interested, you're more than welcome to. It is an invite. It is not mandatory. And if you want to hang out for the live streams, just head on over to my Twitch or Kick channel for my live multi-streams, Monday through Thursday, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's it. Until the next set of Undead Unluck chapters, I wish you all a good night, a buenas noches, and oyasumi nasai.